Hello, Greg from ArionGames here, and it has been a while since the last video, but I wanted to kick off 2021 with a video talking about a couple of books I released over the Christmas period. The first of which is the Domesday campaign book 1. So this was kick-started in spring last year, and there are 4 books as part of that Kickstarter, and this is the first one. This is a fairly hefty tome. It's still in proofreading for the PDF version, but a print version will be available soon. And this book has quite a lot in there. If we have a look at the contents page, you'll see that there are 5 chapters of investigations, each covering about 10 years. So this can be played in a 10-year chunk. And each 10-year chunk has a sort of mini arc to it and has a mini climax to it. So you can play it in 10 or so year chunks. It has some new rules, plenty of new rules. It has descriptions of villages and masterworks and horses and alternative aging rules and a list of events and a list of locations and so on and so forth. And this goes from 1086, the year of the Domesday book, all the way to 1138. Okay, so that's a long 50 odd years time. And this is the first half of the campaign. Now obviously if you're playing through this campaign, even a young character at the start of it, aged 18 or so, is going to be old, dead, long before you get to the end. So this is a long-term campaign. And generally these investigations are going to take 1 to 2, maybe even 3 sessions to play through each. So this 50 odd, you're probably talking approaching 2 years of gaming if you don't drop any extra investigations or sessions in and so on, and you may well do that. So you've got 2+ years gaming in this book with another book to follow. And there's all sorts of investigations. Some of them are, there's a monster, go and kill it. Nice and simple. Of course, it's never that simple finding and killing the monster. Some of them are what is going on. Some of them are ghosts. Some of them are strange creatures. We don't, there's all sorts of different things in there to challenge the characters. Generally, a really well balanced group will do better than a group, say, that's focused on combat or whatever. I mean, that'll do okay. And another important thing to remember about this campaign is it is not assumed that the characters will succeed at every single investigation. There's no need for them to do that. They're going to fail some. They will fail some. But the campaign is not derailed by them failing them. It might be made more difficult. There might be implications for failing that investigation. But the campaign doesn't end just because they fail a particular session. And as part of that campaign, without wanting to spoil it too much, we introduce a mana that is the base for the characters. Actually missed one of the other ones there. So that's some of the new art. I didn't want to go too much into the new art, but I wanted to put that one up because that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. But the characters get given a mana to run for at least part of it. Crooksby. Now, when this book first came out, this mana sheet was included in the campaign book for Crooksby. And indeed, all the way through are implications for the mana for each investigation. But the rules for that had to wait for a separate book. And so once the campaign book was out and released, I then managed to get the mana book finished. Now this book is obviously much smaller, whereas the previous one's about 340 pages. This is about 70 something. But this book contains a complete system for running a mana. So you've got rules for designing a mana from scratch. You've got rules for designing a mana based on the Domesday book. You've got rules for what happens every year. So does it make money? Does it lose money? What happens? You've got event tables. You've got rules for hirelings. Now some hirelings, like a groom, have implications for the mana. A groom will train horses. A groom will breed horses to replace mounts. So if you have a groom, you always have whatever horse you buy. And you don't have to worry about aging of horses. Without a groom, you've got to buy new horses when they die. If you've got a herbalist, that can help if you get an event that says there's sickness in the village. If you've got men at arms, they're expensive, but if you get attacked by raiders, border reavers or outlaws, they can help defend it. And there are all sorts of rules. There are also plenty of ideas in there for customising villages, making it more of a living place, almost like a soap opera, because the characters are surrounded by these villages year in, year out, over 50 to 100 and something years of the campaign. How do they grow? How do they change? Who are they? That's very, very important. But there's also various rules and options in there for, say, playing almost like a Pendragon campaign, where you've got each character with their own mana. And does one mana profit while another one starts to fail? Do they help each other out? Do they pool their resources, etc.? And so there's various ways you could use this in a Domesday campaign. And obviously this has been sent to Kickstarter backers, and print versions will follow. But this is quite a big addition to the Domesday line. There are obviously some short adventures out there. There are the Investigator's Guide, North York Moors, and so on. But this, when it's complete, will not only have the Campaign Book 1 and Campaign Book 2 with another 55 sessions in, it will also have the Mana Book, and it will have a complete guide to the area as well. So this is a complete 100 and something year campaign. If you played it through, it would probably take best part of 5 years, but you could easily double that by dropping in additional sessions on mana sessions and so on and so forth. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I only want to talk briefly about these. I'm going to try and get back to doing 2 to 3 videos a week to keep you updated. There's a lot going on, an awful lot going on, and I will update you on some of that in the next video. Hopefully you're keeping well, hopefully you had a good Christmas and a New Year, and I'll see you again soon.